Hello guys, welcome back to our channel again, Mr. Techie Bar. So today we are going to discuss about the directives and what are the types of directives, how we can use it in an Angular application, why they are meant for, and like where in which scenario we have to use. So we'll discuss all the types of directives one by one. So let's start. So basically we have four type of directives in Angular. So first is component directive, second is structural, then attribute and custom. So component directive, we can say that is a main directive in Angular. If you have seen in the like Angular application, we usually create the components. Those are actually also, we can say, kind of a widgets, because we can use multiple places and we can perform a small task with the use of components. Without a component, Angular is nothing, we can say. Okay, so first we are going to take about the component directive. So in component directive, first I would like to discuss about like how we can create the component and what are all the attributes in the component directive we have. We'll discuss one by one. Okay, so first thing, like how we can create a component directive using Angular CLI, like the CLI command. Usually we have to write ng generate component and then name of the component. So if I say the test, so what this command will do, it will just create the component. We will check in a while. So it is created. So this is the component which we have just created, the test component, and it has HTML, CSS, and along with the spec file where we usually write the test cases, and we have a component file, that is a TS. So with the help of CLI command, it basically reduces our time to create the component. Like multiple files, it has just created in a second. Second thing, there are one more command, like there are many commands. Yeah, so now there is one more command to create the component. Ng generate component test2, the name of the component. And if you want to skip the test file, then just write skip and test equals to true. Yep, so now it has created the new component test2 with the skipping the test file, which was like spec file. So that was a command. And do remember, do not write skip test on like lowercase or uppercase, because it is a case sensitive. You need to write as it is. Okay, and also you can cross check this command, will add the reference on your module file also. So it's pretty good. You can save more time if you are going to use this. As of now, I'm just removing these component, and we'll look for like another way to create a component, that is manual. That manual also hardly takes a minute. It's just take a 3-step to create a component. Let's just quickly check that. Okay, so now just create a new component, or we can give the previous name because I have deleted those components. So we can give test. So inside this test, we'll create one file name test.component.ts. sorry, spell mistake, component.ts. okay, yeah, that's it. Now we need to write component. So using IntelliSense, you will get the reference automatically. Then later just have a selector here. So this is the name of the selector we need to provide, app test. Then second is template. So template we can give just anything you can as you wish. So welcome to test component. I think you can give one hashtag. Yes, so h5, yes. And in last, just need to export the class, name of the class. You can provide test component. That's it. And only the last thing which we need to do, just need to have a reference in our module file. So I'm just quickly going to add this. You need just type that component class name here. It will blow up sign that you need a reference, so it will automatically fetch that reference from your application, and you just need to have it on a declaration part. That's it. So now our component is there. We can use that component anywhere. Suppose if you want to use that component in the app dot component, so just write app hyphen test. Yes, so here in this browser we can quickly check welcome to test component. We have given this text on our test component. Yes, so this was the text and it is reflecting on our application too. Okay, so that was about the component. So now next type of directive is structural directive. Structural directive basically used for whenever you want to manipulate the DOM element using ngIf or ngFor we can achieve. So let's take an example. So in the TS file you need to create a variable, suppose month, kind of an array where we'll provide the value okay. Initially I'm just giving 3 fields. Now in HTML you need to have one div, suppose then we'll have one list. Then here just need to have your ng with asterisk, sorry, ngFor so in this list object we need to have strict ngFor and let obj of name of the list object which we have given, sorry, month. Now obj, that's it. Let's quickly check. So here we have all those elements which we have defined in the TS file. So eventually if you just add any more month, then probably it will be appear on the list. Okay, so that was actually for the ngFor, which is basically a part of a structural directive. Now we'll learn what is ngIf and how we can use that and why it is for. Okay, now we'll check what is ngIf in a structural directive. Okay, so it's very simple. If you want to use the ngIf, so just sorry, okay, so just asterisk, then ngIf, name of the property is suppose enabled. We have taken a property, we can define here as a boolean and set the default value as true. Sorry, so Now if we just look at the screen, enable false. Sorry, I have not saved that HTML part, sorry, my apologies. So when we check this, so it's not appearing. Okay, so that is the one part which we have just observed, that this div is not appearing. And also if I check this in the inspect element, if I'll looking for that element, so that element is entirely not present in the DOM no more. So it is kind of a lightweighted also. It basically remove all the code from the DOM. Now I'm not able to see this li object in this DOM. It is not appearing anymore. Yes. So if I just make it true again, so it's visible, and we can check the element. The element is also visible now. Now our next type of directive is attribute directive. So this directive basically we use when you want to perform something change on your style, like color, background, appearance. You want to add some class, you need to change something on the appearance. So basically I've just written a small definition. You can also look from the Google, but from technical point of view, basically whenever you want to change some kind of styles, then only we're going to use this kind of attribute. So let's check an example. So now in HTML you need to write ngClass, then curly braces, and within the curly braces suppose my class is the name of the class which we need to create, and the condition on which we have to apply it for. Okay, so this condition will definitely put inside our yes, so it's already there, so we have set it to true, and now we have to create a class. So class name was my class, then I'll just change the color, so make it red, more visible. Okay, cool. So we have done it so far. Now just check it on the browser. So now the color is changed because we have set the property to true. So conditionally we can change this to true and false, and vice versa it will appear on our browser. So it's there now. Okay, so for ngStyle we need to write ngStyle the square bracket, then we can use the existing variable here, then later based on the true and false value we can perform our action like this. Okay, so this is the first value, and if else we can set another value. So basically we are just using a red or a blue color. I think I have done some mistakes, so I'll just use the existing code. Okay, now okay, so let's quickly check that in the browser. So it's appearing. So if our variable that is true, then should reflect red, else if that is false, then it will look for else condition, that is blue. Okay, so that was about the ngStyle, and today we have learned about the type of directive. If we just quickly recall all the directives, like first we have covered the component directive, then later we have covered structural directive, and then attribute. So in component, basically it's a kind of small widgets where we can implement the small feature, small functionality within the component, and we can use several places that component. Second was the structural directive. In structural, whenever we want to perform something DOM manipulation, then we can use ngIf or ngFor. And later we have is attribute directive, where we are looking for appearance change and we need to perform certain kind of style changes. So I think that's all. If you have any question, please comment on the comment box, and I'll try to reply as soon as possible. Thank you all.